Hello, everybody. Let's see here. Yep, levels look good. Welcome to today's live stream. It has been one very crazy week in the world. Let me just be sure we got this set up here. All right. Looking good, looking good. Okay, cool. So we're going to talk a little bit about my trading plan from last week, the one that I've currently executed today in this short setup here. And again, this was a plan that I'd had for a while now. I do have the YouTube chat up, so if you have any questions, do feel free to ask. If we don't get to them, we can knock them out in the Discord. So last what day? Monday. Last Monday, so a week ago, I had posted this and this as my two trading setups. And what I had talked about was that this level here would be the area of resistance if price was going to remain weak. If it was going to have a little bit more strength, you know, then we would, this is the next logical area of resistance. So we're seeing this plan come to fruition, and something that I had pointed out in my one trade in 1 minute video, that short clip that I had shared on Twitter, was that I would look for something like this if price was going to be weak, for then a move back down. And so ultimately what I want to see, and after we kind of shortly review this, we'll do some updates on our levels, and then we'll also take a look at BNB, which is another trade that we had. What I'm going to look for here my very first thought is this. We are going to, I did ladder short here. I'm willing to ladder up into a sweep if we get one, right? So I think this is Monday's high, and then we'll put in, we then have Monday's range. We can sweep, maybe sweep Monday high plus that, and then we get the move down, or we simply get the move down from here. Then what I'm going to do, I think, I don't think that we would just bounce from here, which is range low. I actually think that this level here is going to be very key. So what we would look for, in my opinion, by the way, which is also the bottom of the CME gap, would be for price to linger here, maybe get that additional sweep, come down to here, get a move into this zone, and then once we're in this zone, one of a couple things is going to happen. Either A, we hold it as support, we get the move back up, and we target this level, and we can flip long here and close our short. This is also our take profit one for the short position. The second scenario is this level does not hold a support. We lose it, and we get the move down to about that 49, 48K zone, which is my primary target for a long that we would then trade up. So overall, this is this is my general trading plan. This is what I'm thinking. The levels that I'm going to be watching in the week or weeks to come to further inform my position. So like I said, I'm currently short like this, and I will ladder up to 64 if we get this sweep right here. And then I will trade it down to about 58.5. Fill the CME gap, which is also a back test of this fair value gap here, which is this gray box. If we see some strength and this area hold as support, I will flip long, close my short, and target 67. If we do not see strength here, and in fact we lose it as support, or it does not hold as support in the event of this back test, then I'll hold my short position down to about 49, 48 zone, to which I'll look for a sweep of these lows, a deviation of this weekly order block, and I'll long. I'll close my short and I'll flip long. So that in a nutshell is my trading plan, and this is my plan from last week even. But now we're starting to see these levels come into fruition. And like I said, I've already taken a position. I'm going to wait for Monday close tonight. Once the daily is closed, I will look for a sweep of Monday high or another kind of local or low time frame short setup that I'll then add to my position and look for this to play out. Right? So that's, you know, in a nutshell, that's pretty much my setup, and everything that I'm going to be looking for is this. And I'll save this and we can kind of come back and review it. So yeah, ultimately so far everything looks good, right? Everything is looking good. Now, in the event that BTC is going to show strength, the very first thing that we're going to look for is a proper close above this level here. If we get, you know, maybe an H4 or higher kind of time frame close above this level, or a high volume breakout candle or something or other, you know, then yeah, you know, it's likely that this short will get stopped out, and we'll be targeting this level, which is another short zone that we were looking at, right? If price deviates or sweeps this, great. I'm going to add to my short for sure. And again, look to target lower. All right. So that's basically everything that you're going to need to know about BTC and my short trading plan and my key zones of interest. This is pretty much it. That's exactly what you're going to want to know. We'll take a few minutes here. We'll go ahead and update some levels, and we'll take a look at some old levels, etc., etc. And we, you know, and we'll go from there. Yeah. So this, yeah, that's this is one of the paths that I drew out last week. Yeah, it looks good, right? I mean, this is, you know, this is kind of exactly what you would want to see. All right, so let's go ahead, and I just want to pull up. I gotta do a little bit of cleaning up here. I got shit all over the place with my object tree here. Local downtrend broken out of, right? Price were to get that move down immediately, this would be, you know, something you could see, right? So this sort of can be a potential added confluence to our setup, right? And if price gets below it, you know, then that signals that we will get our setup down here. So this is a good trend line to have on your charts right now. Good local trend line. Swing failure. And I got all this stuff here. Monthly fair value. Range low. Don't need this anymore. Their all-time high. Yeah, this is obviously that other setup that we'd be looking for. Higher time frame trend line. Possible harmonic that I'm keeping an eye on. This would be crazy, by the way. This would be a crazy harmonic. You know, here's my thing. And I'm gonna say this in a shorter video later on. And I did say this. I posted this on my Twitter. So I am short here, and I do think, like I said, my plan is to get that deviation down here. But just given like everything that's going on, I just don't see like what reason why price would go down. I don't see the reasoning. I can see BTC coming into here and bouncing. I just don't see the narrative to push it down to here, being that, you know, the Germans have sold everything that's happened with Trump in the last week, or the, you know, a couple days ago, and what's going on in America. I just think that it's hard to imagine that price is going to get that move down. But I'm going to stick to my original analysis, and you know, this is that zone that will sort of make that decision. Right now is not the time to determine whether or not, you know, whether or not this is going to play out in that way or not. This right here will be the area that determines that for us, or for me personally. Okay, pull up some other stuff here. No good. Yep, looks good. My upcoming trades, cool. Key zones. Yep, this is a previous support zone. So again, this would be a good area for it to reject. Would be in here. These two zones have been super, super key and have informed a lot of my trades. That helped us catch this short here and brought us down to here, where I did want to look for long. Obviously, we didn't get that long setup. We went much lower. This would be a good zone to reject from, come down to here, and then either do one of these two things, right? This is a great area for this. This looks really good. I really like this setup. So hide those. All right, we're going to look at some of these channels here. So this is our local downwards channel. We're currently above the midline for that. Okay. This is our sideways channel, which I'm actually going to adjust just a little bit, like as so. I think that's more appropriate. All right. This is our upwards channel that we can see has had great confluence in the past here. Again, another reason why I'm looking to see a move like this. Okay. And again, if we pull up the zone, you can just see, like, look at the confluence here. You have this nice swing failure pattern zone. You have what was previously support, lost, and flipped to. This has been a key SR flip zone right here, right? This 64.5 zone here. So we have this nice SFP here. We have this really well-respected channel. It just makes a lot of sense to me to get this, fill the CME gap down to about 58.5, and then reevaluate from there. So far, again, this looks really good. I'm gonna wait for Monday high to get put in, and then we'll look for some kind of a sweep there. So I like that. This is our sort of larger upwards channel that has been really well respected as well. This one I've drawn and redrawn several times. It's kind of it's not as clean as the other one, but we can see that we're confronting what would be the top zone of that. So again, that's just another thing of confluence here that I do like to see. Trend lines, nothing too interesting for me right now there. I do want to look at this. Let's extend this. Yeah, so we have gained acceptance back into the value area, and this is technically a deviation then. So, you know, there is possible there is, you know, again, this is one thing that you really have to understand. I am short here on a deviation play. There hasn't been a deviation yet. For the deviation to be confirmed, price has to lose range low, and this would be the confirmation right here, right? This rejection from range low, this would be the confirmation that the deviation is confirmed. So I'm trading off a theoretical deviation because I believe that this area is resistance. Once we do get that confirmed deviation, if you're looking to be a conservative trader, you can short here. For me, I like to add instead. I prefer to take in this, you know, this is how I prefer to trade personally. But it's something just to bear in mind, because if price does come in here and instead of rejecting and it goes up, you know, then this is the deviation and price is reclaimed and held this area as support. And now we can look for continuation likely up to about 70, 72 zone, right? Or at the very least, the 67 area. So it's really important to sort of just keep in mind, again, that I'm trading on a theoretical deviation that has yet to be confirmed. We do have to see further price action to inform whether or not this is a deviation or if this is a reclaim of this range here. If it's a reclaim of the range, then obviously we can look for higher targets and we can flip long. So that's all great. This is all very good. Let's go ahead and update. I just want to look at where our previous month levels are. So we're sitting at the monthly open. Okay, sitting at the monthly open. That's also a very interesting spot. Let's look at the previous quarter. We're sitting at the previous quarter. Sitting at the quarterly open. Okay. Let's look at our previous week. Levels need to be updated. Previous week low. So price is currently above the previous week high. That would definitely be the first level that I want to see a loss to confirm that we're going to go lower. You know, acceptance below here. I mean, altogether, this zone is a really big hot spot where I could see price coming in here and spending some time or doing something. And it's really going to determine whether or not we go up or down. 100%. 120%. I'm actually going to just mark this out. Go like this here down to 50. We're going to mark this it's an SR zone. Again, this zone is going to determine whether or not from here we go here or from here we go here. This is going to be the key area to watch for that. All right, so previous week, cool. Checked that out. Do we have a new weekly level? I think I already have that one marked. I don't. Okay, I don't think this one's important anymore, so we're gonna move that down here. We have a weekly level. Actually a decent weekly level too. No new monthly, obviously. Dailies, I don't really give a shit about right now. Actually, this daily might be interesting. All right, I want to take a look at some stuff here. Let me see. So funding rates slightly negative. Yeah, looking at these funding rates, I think it makes a lot of sense to see a sweep of Monday high. So again, you know, once we get that daily close, I am going to look for a sweep on Monday high, and then from there, I'm going to be looking for a, you know, I'll look to add to my position. Let's look at the weekly naked point of control. So we do have a WNPOC 57,180. Oh shit, we also have one 65.70. Really? Really, really? $65.70. Interesting. And we also have one at 57.180. 57.180. Okay. Well, this weekly just became far less interesting to me. And then the one at 70, which I still have marked. All right, I just want to take a look. 169, and then 51.70 as well, which I actually don't really give a shit about. So all right. Yeah, so all right. So here's what I think is going to happen. I think I may have entered a little bit too early on my short, but that's okay cuz I'm, obviously I'm laddered in. And I am holding off. So I think that we're going to see a move like this. Come down. Well, I think we're going to deviate like this. Come down. And price is going to I think that this is a key zone where price will mess around. But really I think that this level here is going to be the long. I think that if we get a move like this, we can look to trade it back up ultimately. All right, let's clean some of this up here because I think this looks good. Don't need that. I don't need the WNPOC. You guys can just know it's there. Don't need my key zones. SR zone. Yeah. Yeah, no, we don't really need it on the chart per se. So I would say that that's what do we have for time? Yeah, we're looking good. I would say this is going to be my analysis for the week. Price is going to sweep or deviate this level, or it won't, which whatever, I'm already positioned. Up to that WNPOC in this zone. Get the move down to this WNPOC. Sweep the level. Or at the very least, like somewhere in this zone, right? I think that this is, this was resistance. We got to back test it and flip it to support. We reclaim range low. We can look higher. All right, cool. So that's done. This is the plan for the week. I will do a brief update with this and share that with you guys after this video. I did see someone ask a question. Okay, let's see what. Is there a difference between spider lines and fib resistant fans? Do you have any videos on fib speed resistance fan? Yeah, I do. There is. If you go on the onetradeglobal.com, you'll actually find that under trading courses. And it's going to be under Fibonacci. and you'll find it, you know, under here. This is it right here. Fibonacci fan and pitch fan tutorial. So there's your tutorial for that. All right. So cool. BTC done. We're gonna go take a look at BNB. I actually don't really use spider lines. That's actually something you'd have to ask Super about. All right, cool. So looking at BNB, what I had said is that I'm looking for a sweep of this previous week low, which obviously is not the previous week low anymore. This level needs to be updated. But I said one of a couple things is going to happen. One, there's a really nice area of liquidity at about 613 here, where I would like to see a sweep of these highs. Getting above the previous week high is, or it's not the previous week high anymore, but getting above this level here is for me mentally going to say, okay, time to start thinking about shorts. So when we get above this level, I'm going to start thinking about shorts, or we're already kind of in that zone, right? But especially above here at that 613 level, I'm going to look to start taking a short position. The other scenario that I had talked about is this level here, which was previously support, lost, back test, flip to resistance right here. We're now actually seeing that exact move, and you can actually see the daily order block right here that price is currently dealing with and rejecting from. So if we do continue to reject from here, right now for me this is too early to enter. And again, I am expecting another sweep with BTC. So I think that even with this asset, I'm going to wait until the daily close at the very least, and let Monday range form. But if we do lose this and the midline is deviated as such, you know, then we can look to trade it down, hopefully down to these levels here. So, you know, we'll come back to this, but what I will say is right now, this is looking really good and going according to plan. I think this looks great. Oh man, I hope that wasn't in the way. I didn't realize it didn't flip on my. Oh, I'm sure it's fine. Have you heard about Guardian Network? I have not. I don't know what that is. All right, so I know there was some requests for some other assets to watch. You know, we'll go ahead and dive into some of that stuff. I think there's a lot of really interesting things happening on the charts right now. I said this in the Discord, but right now this week I am especially busy. I have a race coming up and the very first weekend of August, and this is my last week to train for that race. So I am super busy with that, just on top of my regular life. So I am gonna, I'll still be doing like my usual charting and posting charts and stuff like that throughout the week. But I won't be, you know, if you're not seeing me as often, well, that's why. And once I'm done with this week of training, the following week is just totally rest and recovery and whatever. I'll be trading like crazy, so I'll especially be hopping on at that point too. But I think that we'll go ahead and call it there. Disclosure Crypto, why don't you send it to me in the Discord and I'll take a look at that. I don't know if it's a chart or whatever. If you can send me the ticker in the Discord, I'll take a look at it, and if it looks interesting and I can see a trade set up there, I'll add it to the assets that I'll look at this week as I post those trade setups for you guys. Okay, so again, just very briefly before we hop off here, I'm looking for a sweep of this swing fair pattern zone up to a weekly naked point of control that we have sitting at about 65. I'm going to look to trade that down to about the 58 zone. This 58 zone is going to be really key in determining for me if we're going to bounce or if we're going to actually reject and see continuation down to our primary long zone here at about 48K. So we'll go ahead and call it there. As always, thank you guys for joining me, and I'll do a very brief video update kind of going over what we reviewed here in the live stream for those of you who are hopping in late.